Hello. Welcome in, everyone. Week 3 of the show, week 2 of college football. Good to have you back. It is college football last call live from Nashville. This is your weekly show, gearing us up before Saturday's first full slate. A lot of FCS opponents still, but none of this Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday crap with college football. 4 games tonight as we record on Friday. And yeah, let's get right into it. So basically, everything that we like to do on this show is talk through line movements, look at injuries. Now we're going to start having to deal with injuries early on in the season. Didn't have that last week, but coming out of camp. So might as well just dive into that now. So let's look at some of the live line movement that we're seeing so far this week. A few lines have really jumped, and one that's been on my card all week is Tulane in South Alabama. It's just two different classes of school. 10 was way too low. It's already up to 13.5. Still willing to bet it at 13.5. Tulane should take care of business pretty easily this week. So I'm okay adding those extra 3.5 points. NC State, Virginia, that line's starting to come down. NC State favored 4.5 at home. Virginia now creeping down, some steam coming that way. And that's interesting. I myself am on the over in that game. That's kind of stayed steady. But for the line itself, I guess people impressed with the hooves, huh? Miami of Ohio, Rutgers, that line's fallen under a key number, a 2-touchdown line. That's something that we do not want to see because we are on Miami. I'd probably keep it above the 2 touchdown. That's too key of a number. I kind of like Miami to be in this game in the fourth quarter. Obviously, shut out last week. Tough road environment in Camp Randall. Quan Finn, new system. Miami's defense is is really their kind of bread and butter. And I know Billy Edwards got hurt, but they looked very good. Very, very stout. Only allowed 17 against Wisconsin. And it was a tough 17. Let's see what else. We've got Cincinnati. Listen, that line's gone both ways. Favor of Cincinnati. It's since opening. We've seen a steam up 4 points. I've seen some touch 23 now. And that under has come down a few points. So Vegas and the Sharps not confident in Bowling Green's offense to score really much at all. So I think that total is creeped under 50 with a spread that fat. You got to feel for Bowling Green. Seemed like a electric start to their season last week. So back-to-back years returning the opening kickoff of the season. Tough to beat that electricity with Eddie George. First game on the sideline, huh? Yeah, 46.5 opened at 50. Yeesh. All right, let's stay away. Stay away from this guy. Totals. One game tonight. Wanted to mention that Boise game has been juiced up 58.5. Eastern Washington. Back home on the blue turf. Should be a chance for this offense to really show what they couldn't against South Florida in that hot humidity. So I don't know. What do you guys think? 58.5? That's a lot of juice, a lot of points. Not sure if that's something willing to okay. So Fresno was on our line total last week. They've been steamed down all week as well. A pitiful offense. Played another pitiful offense in Georgia Southern. That game was 14-13 at half. And Fresno just unrolls. I think 29 straight points to win 42-14 in the second half. That game was a lot of nothing until it was something, huh? Ole Miss, Kentucky, it's steaming down. You can suspect that at Kroger Field. Kentucky wants to get it nice and muddy, nice and dirty, bring in the mud. So with that steam, and then Memphis here, Georgia State, that's a later game. So keep an eye on that. That's steamed up almost a touchdown now, 5 points since Tuesday, which is pretty crazy. So when we look at any sort of total that moves that much, feel like you kind of missed the boat, barring any, but who knows? 7 o'clock kickoff. If you're feeling froggy, might as well leap, huh? And let's talk about some injuries because there's a couple big names you'll notice here. Injuries. Yeah, couple questionables, couple outs. Caleb Banks, just big hog molly, just a massive human being that is the keynote of Florida's defensive line. He's questionable to lower body injury. We will see. Big game against South Florida. One team riding very high. Gators a little banged up in the injury report. They had multiple people there. Mike Aliando, we couldn't talk highly enough about this guy. Week 0. We see him week 1 at Arizona. Tough. Hawaii had 5 turnovers. Couldn't really do much of shit. And they lost 40-6. So have to wonder if they really just pressed it. Not very strong a quarterback behind him. So buyer beware. That's our midnight game. Game time decision, not officially out yet. Vandy has a couple players. Cole Spence, backup tight end, but still a contributor. We'll see a decent amount of snaps. He's questionable. Suffered a potential MCL injury last week. So we'll see there. Depth is definitely needed when you're at Vanderbilt, especially at skill positions. And then Junior Sherrill out. So that's a weapon that Pavia would need going on the road to Blacksburg. That's going to be a tough night game. Your boy is on that card. I have Vanderbilt. I still like him even without Junior Sherrill. Yes, believe it or not. And Alex is on that under. So that bodes well for him. Cyhawk, tough news if you're a Hawkeyes fan. Kamari Moulton out. Solid running back for Iowa. Played pretty well against Iowa State last year. So that's tough break there. Then Walker Howard, have to think it's precaution for Raging Cajuns. They get McNeese State this week. He's too valuable to be risking in a game like that. They need a win. Tough week 1 loss. So that's the injury reports. Let's go and let's look at some line movement. Why don't we? Let's look at some key notes. Let's pull up the shared screen. And you know where we like to go. Action Network, baby. Couldn't recommend the pro subscription enough. Key indicators here. Go over this every week. But bets, percentage of bets, and then percentage of money. Obviously, sharp indicators are going to be the lower percentage of bets on one side and higher percentage of money. Most of the time, that's a sharp indicator because the big money is what moves, right? Bands to make her dance, as Juicy J once said. That is true. So little Joes are just represented with all these little tickets. These little, why is that screen so small? These little, even smaller. What the hell? I'm going in the corner here. There we go. These little Joes are going to be down here with these smaller tickets. All right. So we've got some early movement. couple games that we're staying away from. Jacksonville State got nothing on it, but Liberty's getting steamed a lot. Pittsburgh's on my card. Not many tickets as we could see. This is a great indicator of a sharp line. People see Central Michigan upset San Jose State as a 2-touchdown dog last week. I know not many of you sickos were watching the last game on a Friday night, MAC versus Mountain West. San Jose State might not beat San Jose High. That is a bad football team. I know it's week 1. We'll give them a break. But they get Texas this week. Going to be tough to judge on any sort of bounce back. But Judas. Besides my guy Scudero, who he had 180 plus yards receiving. I think they had like 190 yards passing. He was the only shining light in that offense. So Central Michigan was rotating 3 quarterbacks, if that tells you anything. They do not have it together on offense. So very confident in my guys, Holstein and Reed. Like this line a lot. So let's look at a couple others. Let's look at what do you say? Say, Xander, what is this? This is a system. So one of their pro systems hits at 59%. That's a pretty good hit rate, folks. Let's follow the system. Here we go. So the system, let's see, scoring streak fade, poor offensive game from last time, favored at home, and scoring less than 10 points. Well, it seems pretty unique, but it's happened well over 500 times. And this system hits at 59% of the time. We've got 3 games. Might as well add all 3, right? The team we were just talking about will probably be the dead dog loser. Marshall looked terrible too. So even though Missouri State gave up almost 100 to USC, got to bounce back. And Sam Houston, if Aliando can't go, Sam Houston could easily win that game outright. It's a good little system there. All right. Going back. Okay. Some other sharp bets. We are on UConn. Public loves Syracuse. I'm telling you what, guys, this isn't your dad's or your high school's or your 2014 NCAA UConn team. It's a good ball club Jim Morris got together up there in Stores. Tough town, but great university. Great university, Husky Nation. Stand up. That's an outright winner right there. Let's see. Nothing else really jumping out total-wise. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, see, this is a good one. Public. All over this game on the under. It's been steamed up. Utah State, Texas A&M. Let's see. What's our pro system? Weather. Non-conference games overs, less familiar with each other. Shown no wind is an issue. Yeah, 10 or less. Perfect. Yeah, the system is repped close to 300 times. Sitting at 59% win total. Why the hell not, folks? I have Houston and Rice on the card and UCF in Florida. I might as well add the other 2, right? Can't just have those 2. This UCF Rice game is very interesting. I'm on the over. 2 teams that look like they couldn't do shit last week on offense, but very strong defensive performances. Rice gets a gritty win. You can see this line is just fluctuating. No real sharp movement there. All right, let's go back and see this percentage because I also have like a personal kind of have to wait. I've got a personal number that I like to see. Oh, that's why. Total. Where's this Rice? Yeah, you just go here. Rice. Yeah. All right. So money started to come in yesterday when I placed this bet. There was 90% of bets, 95% of the money on the under. And the 90-90 club gets an automatic bet the other side. Just a contrarian, pure contrarian play. Don't really care what's going on unless it's gusting 30 miles an hour. That's going to be a contrarian play for me all day. All right. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the weather. Weather. Weather outside is weather. All right. Yeah. So, all right. Covers great weather setup they have for college football. This jumped out to me. Last week we had pretty calm. All right. So, this number right here, 18 miles an hour from Northwestern. Obviously, Western Illinois just gave up 52 to Illinois last week, and we've got a number sitting at 49. Northwestern, you know, got to tip your cap to Tulane, but Northwestern was going through it. Come back home, get an FCF school. They're at they're on the lake, in that makeshift field. So, it's going to be windy. I think we got to add Western Illinois under, and don't even watch a second of that game. That is although last week we get Tarleton State, the Texans, outright beating Army, as we said we should probably tail an Army under, which was looking good, by the way, until it wasn't, of course. Overtime in a FCS FBS game. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, not Northwestern. Northwestern WIU under. Anyone else nibbling on that? Who would nibble on that matchup? We got to stop maybe betting on FCF schools if this loses or against them. They play football for a reason. They just want it more. They're going to be handing you your car keys at rental desks, or doing your taxes probably. Okay. All right. So far, Saturday. What jumps out? Nothing. Rain, dome. Okay, good. JMA wireless dome. What the hell? Always be the carrier dome. What the hell is that? Big money strikes again. AT&T Stadium for Kent State. They got to roll out the red carpet for Jerry World. That's insane. All right. Weather-wise. All right, this is something to Howard. Yeah, never mind. Another decent week of weather across the country. 69 degrees in Oregon. They don't deserve it. UMass Bryant. Good God. All right, here we go. Wind and rain. That's what we like for the Miami cover. Windy and rainy. I like to get sloppy. All right, yeah, I would not even look at that over in any sense. That's why that's kind of steaming down a little bit right now. All right, so that's something to keep an eye out there. Wind and weather expected for Miami and Rutgers. How about that graphic? Brian UMass. Ooh, Middle Tennessee, Wisconsin. Middle Tennessee handily handily beat by the Governors of Austin P last week. Can they muck it up in a disgusting game at Camp Randall? Probably not. We need that win number into the mid to high teens for it to really mean something to us. That wind effect is another 59 plus win percentage. Keep that in mind. We like 59% winning. That's very, very positive for us. Okay. Anything else? Glass Bowl 66. Beautiful. That crowd will be packed for the home opener in the Glass Bowl. Like to see a lot of pals out there. Here in Nashville, was there last week, but I know they'll be on their feet. Let's see. What do we have? Tiger Stadium. And then let's go to, yeah, here we go. All right, a little windy. This line's really starting to come down a lot. Prediction on the show on Wednesday, I have Oklahoma 27, Michigan 10. So that still hits that under. Oklahoma's a little bit too imposing, and I don't think Michigan is ready to rely on the pass to win a football game this early in the career of a young quarterback and a lot of new faces on the offensive side of the ball. So that's my game script prediction. Sticking to it. Let's see. All right, rounding it out. Let's see. Any bad weather anywhere else? Jesus, no. Oh, okay, Washington. Getting lucky, folks. A little weather on the Big Island. We like to bet an over at midnight. We like to bet an over at midnight. We'll see. Completely relying on the quarterback, less than the weather. Okay, all set there. Let's see. Every show we like to reveal our teaser as well. We've got that ready. So teaser for week 2. Went a nice 3-3 last week. Uke. 3-3 in a teaser is brutal. Cannot have that. All right, so my picks. And I think we went all spreads here. Yeah, we sure did. No totals on the teaser this week. Back to basics. All right, so Iowa, give me them to plus 10. That's just too much. Too many points in that rivalry game. Give me Iowa to plus 10. I'll take what's going to say USF up to 25. That's absolutely way too many points with the potential injuries and just overall, I don't really trust Florida that much to beat I'd say top 50 team in USF. And Vandy, give me over that key number. Give me to 8. I'll take Vandy to 8. All right, that's my teaser. And then Mayors, Baylor, get him up to 9, the key number. Mizzou, get them to pick him. And then Mississippi State, get them up to 13. A couple key numbers there. That pays 5-1. Teasers are fun because they pay more. Let's see here. All right, phone lines are open. Going to do it the old-fashioned way this time around. All right, teaser. Everyone got that? Don't be belly aching when you didn't tail and it hits. That's how it works. All right, let's go through the cards. What do we say? All right, so cards. Card is pretty full. Got a full school bus of cards of plays here on the card. Opening up with UConn plus 6.5. Yeah, I mean that line hasn't really moved much. You could probably get it plus 7 some places. Just like what the Huskies are able to do on offense. I do not think Syracuse can stop anyone on defense. Nothing against Angeli on offense. He'll be able to get some points. Probably shade towards the over as well. Iowa just have dominated this matchup enough to, bet them until I'm proved wrong, is basically what it comes down to. Let's see. Other than that, Virginia, NC State over. Yeah, I like points in that game. Questionable defenses. Pitt again, like I mentioned at the top of the show, Central team caught a bad San Jose State team with some high preseason expectations. Central has a decent defense, but that offense will not do anything against Pitt. I mean, that could be another MAC shutout. Shout out to the MAC with 3 shutouts hung on them, not for them, on them in week 0. Tough look. Miami staying in the MAC. So Rutgers almost got beat by Ohio, and these two are very similar when it comes to my power rankings of how I see those two teams in the exact same environment. I think Miami's defense is stronger, and they have a similar offense to Ohio, so we will see. That could be a potential outright upset. West Virginia, this is probably the second lock of the week for me. This is a disrespectful line. I know they're coming into a MAC school. We just got a bunch of MAC on the card, don't we? Are you surprised? Absolutely not. Yeah, West Virginia with Rich Rod is, he's got a team of transfers that have been playing for him and have won. So it's not like he's putting together this ragtag group of little rascals. Like this is a good West Virginia team that's going to make some noise. All right. Couple plays in South Florida. I like the over. I just like both of these quarterbacks. I'd like them to extend plays, and I'd like them to abuse an early season defense. And again, too many points for USF. I'll ride the hot hand. Tulane got him at 10.5 early in the week. Already said at the top of the show, I'd bet them to 13.5 where they're at now. Got no problem with that line. Under first click this week, Toledo game. It's contrarian play. It's come back down to this number. It was juiced up to 60 there midweek. I just think Toledo's defense is by far the best. That goes without saying. They've seen Western Kentucky, that is. They've already played 2 games. But up there with one of the best they'll see all season. And Toledo has no issue shutting down a throw-first offense. They will be able to create a lot of havoc against this Hilltopper team. So although I see some points, I do not see it getting into the 60s by any means. Toledo has to answer some questions on offense anyway, while they still try and figure out a run game. Vandy, just a field play. If Pavia is the underdog, I'm betting Diego Pavia. Something ridiculous in the 60s, 60 some percent against the spread as a home underdog, or just as an underdog, not home. Just any underdog. And then over in Houston Rice, already talked about that. A couple more games hidden away. Over Kansas, Missouri. Rivalry is finally back. Columbia will be buzzing. This podcast loves that game quite a bit, as you'll see here shortly. I just think very high-strung environment gets this game to 34-30, 34-28, something like that. And then I'm on Oklahoma. I just said it when we pulled it up in the weather segment. So no need to go over that again. Alex, shorter card, same side as UConn, different sides, Iowa State and Michigan. So dead to me there. He's on the under in the Vandy game. Just sees defenses being a little stronger than the offenses. Illinois, just more of a team ready to play today in a bigger game than Duke with a few of the transfer components. Missouri first half is his big play of the week. Missouri first half is going to be, I think you'll know right away. It's going to be electric for sure. But boy, if Kansas silences that crowd, that bet could be dead in 3 minutes. But we don't hope for that. We want winners here. And I think we'll get one. Stanford, first half, BYU. BYU put up a crooked number against the FCS school, very mean, 69-0. That's just ugly of them. And Stanford got an early bye week. Didn't play week 1, played week 0. So how about that? Get a bye. They showed some signs of life against Hawaii. Like, they showed themselves as a competent team. I think Frank Reich and Andrew Luck, Jesus Christ, would be able to put something together there. I don't mind that bet at all. And then, yeah, our locks, both in that Missouri game. I'm on the over, like it a lot. He's on first half, -3.5, which that number has come down to -110. So you even get a little juicier than you expected. So how about that? How about that? That's the week 2 locks. Covered the weather, covered the line movement. Hitting at 32 minutes. Got some people live. Let's see. Not seeing any comments, any bullshitting, any questions, concerns, any tails, fades. So far, stay on here for a few more minutes. The Friday games back to where they should be. Nothing crazy. 4 games, 2 of them are FCS. Again, if you are just tuning in, we've got this. Where'd it go? We've got this beauty added to the card. Oh, man. I mean, you think the wife's getting a Friday off? Western Illinois, under 49.5. A lot of wind in the homemade stadium, in the golf tent stadium that they have. You think the wife's getting a night off? We're turning on Northwestern. Let me see. Let me find what channel that's on. Do we think it's on a channel? Oh, Big Ten Network. Oh, come on. Big Ten Network? That's a big game for the Roughnecks of Western Illinois. Just coming across the state. That's a home game for them, basically. This is a neutral site. All right. That game's going to be 42-0 at half. No, gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. All right, sticking around. Any more comments? Any more bets? We've got a loaded card for a kind of a crooked week. Less big games against each other. Let's see. Let's check the line. No calls waiting. I will give it about another minute before we head on out of here and gear up for the Roughnecks. Now, that James Madison Louisville game will be pretty good, though. Should have packed the bags, headed up there, 2.5-hour drive from Nashville. But we're going to plan on going to the Clemson Louisville game later in the season. I think Louisville is going to be a little bit better than a lot of people think. So, coming up here on 35 minutes. No pop shots from the gallery. That'll sign us off. Folks, it's been another great live show on College Football Live. Last call live. Tomato. Here's to all winning cards. Be sure to tail our locks and all the cards. Bye. Goodbye.